Center here at Vandy, midshipman in ROTC, Naval ROTC, and I'm president of the Arabic and Islamic Studies Association. It's my pleasure tonight to introduce Captain Gerald Cox. We met earlier before the thing started, and he was wearing a Navy pea coat, and Captain Cox is actually in the Army. And I complimented him. I said, "Sir, that enlisted coat looks good on you." He goes, "Yeah, well, it's the only thing I'll ever wear from the Navy." And I said, "Well, okay." But Captain Cox is an Army Reserve officer on active duty orders, working on the Operations and Intelligence Section as a Homeland Security Defense Coordinator, Anti-Terrorism Officer, and Physical Security Officer for the Southeastern Medical Area Readiness Group located in Nashville, Tennessee. He has served in the Army Reserve for his entire adult working life. Captain Cox previously served as 2nd Higher Headquarters Detachment Command in Nashville from November 2007 to June 2009. He assumed his current assignment in this month in last year, January 2009. Captain Cox was born in Memphis, Tennessee. After high school, he studied at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, but earned his Bachelor in History from the University of Memphis, and is currently working on his Master's of Arts in Criminal Justice Administration at TSU. Captain Cox converted to Islam in November of 1999 after extensive study of religion. He's also a fervent student of Islam and made the pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj, and is learning Arabic to get a better comprehension of the Quran, as that was the book it was revealed in. So if everybody could please welcome Captain Cox.
Wow. I almost feel special from the great introduction. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum. And greetings to everyone else. First of all, I'd like to thank Emily and the people at Project Dialogue for inviting me to come speak for you. Also like to thank MSA and Navy ROTC, Army ROTC. Also like to thank the students and other guests who come here to spend a little time with us, understanding a little bit about Islam, and basically listen to me babble about my experiences in the military and Islam. As a young man said before, I converted to Islam in November 1999 after extensive studying Islam. Basically, when I was at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, I had a roommate who I guess you could say was kind of faking it. He had told us that he was a Muslim, he had a Quran, and he was doing all of the other things. And we joked about him being in the Nation of Islam, you know. Can we get a bean pie from you, blah, blah, blah. Really poking at him, messing with him and everything. And it's kind of like one of those things. If you poke long enough, you'll end up getting bit by the bug. And that's what happened to me. So when I actually transferred to the University of Memphis, met a young man by the name of Malik Shaw, who is serious about academics. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, I take that back. He just moved back to Memphis, where he's an educator. As I said before, I became a Muslim in November 1999, and one of the things, or one of the issues that I had to deal with was Christian parents who believed that I had abandoned them in some form or fashion. And I had explained to my father that you have raised a conscious thinking individual who makes his own decisions. And because he is a military man and he understands whatever choice you make in life, you have to go along with it. And he gave me a little advice, especially, it came a little bit later on, but I came home and I was bickering about treatment of Muslims. And he told me, he said, "This is the religion that you chose, so you must embrace everything about it, the good and the bad, and you must be happy in it." And with that, I stopped bickering, and I started trying to come up with better ways of being able to help people in Islam and other people in the Army. I would have soldiers come to me with questions about Islam, and I would ease their fears. A lot of them, I actually was in command twice. I had two of my first sergeants end up going to Iraq. The first one actually trained with Iraqis to get them up to speed as far as how to train the military and everything. My second first sergeant, when I was HHD commander for the Southeast RSG, he took off and left me and said he's going to go on vacation and left me alone. But also, there were a lot of misconceptions when I converted. I had a girlfriend at the time, and immediately after she told her parents, they said that you need to get away from him because he's going to start beating you. And I asked her the question, I was like, have I ever beat you before? And she was like, no. I was like, what makes you think that I would ever beat you now? She was like, this is what my parents told me. I was like, they're wrong, and I will prove it to them. I never beat her. Matter of fact, she's my wife now. We have two little children, 2 and 5, and they beat up on me. Military, and in particular, I have to speak about the Army. Of course, the military follows the same guidelines as far as taking care of their soldiers, sailors, Marines, and other individuals that belong. But to show you how diverse the military is, my first assignment as an officer was an XO down in Millington. I served under the 380th Dental Company, and my first commander was Alka Cohen. She was Hindu, and here it is. I was an XO and she was full-bird colonel. It took a whole year for her to understand that I was there to help her and not help hurt her. And it's rough for a second lieutenant to prove to a colonel that you will make sure that you take care of them. And before that year was over with, we had one of the greatest relationships. She was also married to a Jewish man, just to show you the diversity that went on in their household. Then I moved on to the 332nd Medical Brigade, where I was the HHD commander. I took this position on when I was first lieutenant. Something that's pretty unheard of, because first lieutenants or second lieutenants, first lieutenants are actually trying to learn the ropes and trying to avoid getting chewed up by the commanders. Well, my commander was a general, so I really learned how to take a butt chewing. Flag butt chewings are a whole lot different from a field grade or a company level butt chewing, and I got the best of them. Thank you, General Williams. She was a nurse by trade, but she knew how to chew better. Experiences where Islam and my military experience came together. Like I said, with September 11th and soldiers going out to Iraq and now Afghanistan, soldiers would know that I was a Muslim and they would ask me questions. And some of those questions I just couldn't answer because they were going into unfamiliar territory as far as I was concerned. I had never been deployed to Iraq, so I could only tell them what I knew about Islam. And they went with a different vision than other soldiers who simply went over there blind and had to pick it up as they went along, or who had to receive the culture classes while they were trained. Also received a good understanding for how people interacted. And the greatest advice that I could give to the young cadets, whether you're in the Navy or in the Army, make sure that whatever country you go to, whether it's Afghanistan or it's Iraq, learn the culture, learn the languages.